The UK government have just announced two important updates, which is due to come into effect in a few weeks' time. In this video, we're going to break down what the updates are and how it will impact on you and your family. If you know anyone who lives in the UK who doesn't have settled status, or anyone who is planning to visit the UK from the 15th of January, kindly ensure that they see this important update that we have for you. Number one, new applicants or many of the work visa must meet a higher English standard. That is what the government said. The equivalent of A level. This is a step above the previous B2 requirement according to the government. The date that this change is going to kick in is the 8th of January. That is the date. Many migrants will need to speak English to an A-level standard under a tougher new rules. Change will impact graduates and those applying for skilled worker or scale-up visa according to the government. Many of these changes that the government has said, for instance, these are for those employed by fast-growing businesses. New rules apply only to new first-time applicants. Existing visa holder extending their permission to stay in the country will not be affected by these changes. That is good news. The measure was first introduced by Shamada Mahmood when she was announced it a few weeks ago, and we know that there's a consultation going on in Parliament, and which will have a big impact on a lot of people. We might have some updates on that. Now, the skilled workers visa and scale up route are impacted. How are they impacted? This change is aimed will mainly affect people applying for jobs in the UK priority visa category. Applies only to new applicants, which means that the existing holder extending their stay will not be affected by the test. This is very, very good news. We also know that eligibility, according to what the government is saying, that eligibility has been tightened for this route. Graduate visa holders moving into skilled work face restriction based on job skill level. And we know that some medium skill roles are excluded. Roles in sectors like transport and support may no longer qualify outrightly according to the government. Family, there's update on family. I'm afraid to tell you, partner must qualify independently. Dependent spouse cannot simply piggyback on a worker's status. More rigorous requirement for family unit. The system separates family members, immigration, as some have argued. We also know that the government is saying that if you take any benefit for a while, if it's up to 12 months, it may apply when you are applying for indefinite leave to remain. They will take that into consideration. Now, the change that the government have introduced, it will have an impact on migrants in the sense that migrants may face extra cost preparing for the English test, and also passing the test requirement can mean time and expenses. It's not just speaking, there's reading, writing, and also from what we have heard, the test evaluate comprehensive language skills. Workforce impact. What is the workforce impact? That means employers need to prepare for new roles. Sponsoring staff may require audit, higher skill and salary check. Some sectors could face shortage as they have been complaining to the government. Sectors relying on low-paid migrant workers may need new strategy to survive. Net migration goal. The government said their goal is to reform. The reform is aimed at cutting net migration significantly. Target at economic and family roots. Both worker and settled stream are being tightened by the government. And we also know that there is consultation going on as we speak. The government is having consultation, so there's still time for you to reach out to your MP, reach out to your trade union. A lot of you have been doing this to try to lobby them. And also we gave some powerful think tanks that are linked to the Labour government that you can reach out to. The Fabian Society, Labour movement, there's one called Agenda for Labour. I gave the list of them in the last video that you can reach out to. These are powerful people that can influence the MPs. Don't forget them. Now, there's existing holder. Also, the government is saying with what they've just announced now, it says those already on the system are not affected, as we said before. It means that current holders on B1, which is, some people say this is a relief. If you're currently in the UK, you have B1, you're not going to be affected by this change that the government. And what does this mean? From what we're hearing from the government, they said it's about integration, but we know that the impact on this, on migrants, it means that the higher English requirement raise the entry barrier, extra cost upon arrival, skill but excluded. So you might still have the skill, but you might still be excluded. We know that settlement, there is debate on settlement, as we said before. We know that people from our community, they're anxious by this change. We also know that from what the government is saying now, their goal, they've made it very clear, it's about making sure that you meet the key objective. The date in question that you must write down is the 12th. The 12th of February, that is the day that the consultation will close. So there is still time for you to reach out to your MP and people that could influence before that day reaches. Now, there's still another big update. This update, again, is for those who are what they call the e-visa. There's big update on e-visa. If you know anyone who's planning to come to the UK from the 15th of January, please kindly ensure that they see this video, because e-visa is going to become mandatory from the 15th of January. All new overseas applicants must use digital e-visa. UK VI account before you travel, it's a must. Applicant must create one online, it's a must. We also know that the UK government aimed to end all physical visa documents. That is the goal. Eliminate biometric resident permit and entry visa by ending of this year, and ending of next year, this year, 2026. Millions already transition, which is good. Over 3 million migrants have already enrolled for e-visa, which is fantastic and good. We also know that the impact, risk, and what can you do? We know from the government data that what they are saying is that employers must update their process. Right to work check will rely solely on digital status and shared code. Travel disruption are a real threat. Device loss, poor internet, or outdated passport detail can lead to boarding refusal, which is very, very important. Now, these two key changes that the government has said are coming into effect. One is coming into effect on the 8th and the other one on the 15th. You know anyone who's planning to come to the UK, it's absolutely important that they follow this guideline, or else they will not be able to enter the UK. What is your view? Is it something that you are excited about, you're worried? Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with anyone that you know benefit, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and I'll bring you a new update as soon as I have an update. Happy New Year to you and your family.